Gentlemen, you have my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So I feel very confident that this video is going to be a really interesting one, and this one goes over, is Calvin Ridley a better wide receiver right now than Julio Jones? Let's find out. Both Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley are having really good seasons in 2020. Julio Jones having a good season was definitely expected, but Calvin Ridley was definitely a surprise. And it's not a surprise because we all thought he was going to suck or anything. It's a surprise because I think it's safe to say nobody actually thought he was going to break out like we all thought he would. We all thought he was going to have a good season. And I think we all thought he was going to show potential that he would be a wide receiver number one in the future, but no, instead he proves he's a wide receiver number one this year, and I really did not see that coming. He definitely made me look silly over the offseason because if you remember, I was saying, well, Calvin Ridley has potential to be a wide receiver number one, but he's not quite there yet. But nope, I look really dumb on that one. He is definitely a wide receiver number one in the NFL. Now, here is a question that you might want to ask considering how good he is this year. Is Calvin Ridley a better wide receiver than Julio Jones? Now, I got to be careful when I ask that because, of course, Julio Jones is easily a fan favorite here in Atlanta, and rightfully so. You don't really want to say that anyone is better than Julio Jones, and it's not just because Julio Jones is one of my favorite players on the Falcons, but just I will explain, no, I don't think Calvin Ridley is a better wide receiver than Julio Jones, but I think he's got potential to be a better wide receiver than Julio Jones in the future. And I'm going to exclude, oh, well, Julio's aging and Calvin Ridley is still young. You know, like, yeah, obviously that could be a reason he could be a better wide receiver in the future. But let's look at it, you know, a little more, you know, like more interesting things than talking about age. Because, yeah, duh, of course, as Julio ages, Calvin Ridley is going to be better because he's still young. But let's go over what we know about Calvin Ridley. Well, he's got good hands, he has elite route running, he's got quick feet so he can make defenders miss, and he is fast. But there are some things that I think Calvin Ridley is missing that Julio Jones already has. He's not missing much, but I want to see more physicality from Calvin Ridley, and this last one is going to sound silly, but I want to see more game winners, and I'll explain that one. But let's talk about more physicality. Calvin Ridley can use his feet to make defenders miss, that's for sure. He has elite route running so he can break defenders' ankles, that's for sure. But one thing that I haven't really seen from Calvin Ridley is breaking off so many tackles and staying on his feet after hard hits. Because I think we all know Julio Jones is one of the more physical wide receivers in the league. To be honest with you, Julio is just an all-around, like, elite wide receiver. He just can really do it all. You know, he's got elite route running, good hands, speed, and he is strong. Like, against the Packers in the NFC Championship 2016, he like front flipped over a frickin' defender, backflipped, whatever it was some sort of hard hit that he took, and he was able to hold on. And then week one this year against the Seahawks, did you see there was one play where he took a big hit and he's still on his feet? You know, Julio Jones can take big hits and he somehow is still on his feet. Whereas Calvin Ridley, I just haven't really seen him take big hits and he's still on his feet. Actually, usually when he takes a hit, he kind of goes down easily with them, and he's not, you know, that difficult to tackle as long as you grab a hold of him, because, yeah, you can, you know, get your ankles broken from Calvin Ridley if he uses his feet, but as far as, like, physicality, I haven't exactly seen that from Calvin Ridley, so I do want to see a little more physicality from Ridley, which he can get, by the way. And then the other thing that I want to see more from Calvin Ridley is game winners. Now, why am I explaining this one? Because us Falcons fans know Julio Jones wins us games. Like, he does. He flat out wins the game for us. 2 games last year against the 49ers and the Eagles. Yeah, Julio frickin' won the game for us on that one. You know, I love you, Matt Ryan, but anyone can frickin' throw a screen pass to Julio Jones against the Eagles to win the game. So I think that was a little more of Julio Jones winning the game. And then just, you know, we've seen it multiple times, like against the Panthers in 2015. It was actually midway in the game, but I think that touchdown that went over Luke Kuechly's head all the way to the end zone was basically our game winner. Julio Jones wins games for us, whereas Calvin Ridley, I haven't really seen him like solely win the game for us. I've seen him make production on the field. I've seen him keep us in the game, but I've never really seen him win the game for us, if that makes sense. And that's what, you know, really, really good wide receivers do, right? Like, DeAndre Hopkins caught that Hail Mary against the Bills. I just talked about Julio Jones. You know, Stephon Diggs with the Vikings, the Minneapolis Miracle. Like, I haven't really seen Calvin Ridley solely win the game for us yet. So, those are the only 2 things that I think he's missing that definitely can get into Calvin Ridley's hands if he just works really hard for it, and he will. He is a very hard worker. I love his attitude. He's going to be a wide receiver number 1 for a very long time, but is he a better wide receiver than Julio Jones right now? I don't think so just yet. I need to see these 2 things, and then maybe we can have a little bit of an interesting conversation. But for right now, I think Julio Jones is the better wide receiver, but that's all I have. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Other than that, I will see you guys with a video this Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Love and appreciate you all for the support. As always, rise up.